Hello, legends and super legends. Eldred here. Welcome to Veloharmony. I'm doing something a little differently this morning. There was a gentleman named Cal Burr. Let me confirm. Yeah, Cal Burr. One of our legends requested, he said, I gotta read that because I want to use his words. Could you please do a video on Assos apparel, mainly bib shorts, tights, how they compare to Rapha Castelli, and why the vast cost difference and why it's so expensive? And he said, thanks for all the great videos. Now, normally, I've got a bunch of stuff in the queue. And so normally, Cal's not a VIP yet. He's not a super legend yet, but he probably will be in the future. But super legends get moved up. And so the reason I'm doing his video right away is that I realized, and this is how my brain works, I realized that I had done a video on another request about shorts versus bibs and, which one was better or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And so there's a certain responsibility on my part to always follow up and make sure that the topic has been thoroughly dealt with. And so that's why I moved Cal's request up the queue, because I realized this is like a episode 2 of that video, because I heavily recommended bib shorts. I explained why, but then I realized I hadn't talked about which ones that I think you should get for what it's worth. I don't have all the answers, but which ones, I've ridden a lot of miles in them for more than, 20 years. So for the riders who are not that familiar with the brand, I felt like, man, yeah, you started it. The reason he's requesting is because I put that out there probably, whatever his reason, but he's coming here for information. And that's what this channel is about. So Cal, moved your stuff up the queue. And I went ahead and sent him a message before I started this, just the taping, to let him know the video was coming out this week, so he'd know. And what I wanted to do before I started the video was to show you guys, I got my Rapha Festive 500 badge. And Rapha, of course, never sends anything without words. So they basically put a nice little text in there. Let me get my glasses. As usual, it's small. They don't print anything. Everything Rapha does is just, I don't know who's printing this stuff. Must be some elves or genies, I don't know. Anyway, it's just tiny. I'll bring it up so you can see it. Look at the print. Even up to the camera here, you'd be hard pressed to be able to read that. But I went ahead and framed it. It's a cloth badge, and consistent with everything Rapha does, it's embroidered. There is no plastic. It's cloth and everything. It's just done well. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother putting it on. There's no jersey I can put it on because you'd have to stitch it. And this polyelastane fabric we have, they don't hold too well with embroidery and adding patches and all that stuff. It would have to go on one of my wool jerseys. Just no reason for that. Anyway, what I wanted to read, it says, congratulations. Since 2010, the Festive 500 has challenged cyclists to ride a total of 500 kilometers between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Once again, tens of thousands of riders went on the hunt for those festive kilometers. As a participant who completed the full 500 kilometers, we proudly present this woven patch, an official badge of honor for the journey you undertook. From all of us at Rapha, thank you, and strong riding in 2017. You see what I'm talking about? I'm getting excited just reading this. That's what I'm talking about. Move over here. I'm gonna go on a ride today, and they got me pumped up. That's what I'm talking about. Strong riding in 2017. So if I were to meet any of you guys on the road that frequent this channel, if I said strong riding in 2017, it's like we have our own language. This is what Paul and I enjoy. We have our own language. That's what I'm talking about. What other company is doing that? Since 2010, I didn't even know about it. Thanks to the green sidebar, he mentioned it, and then I went and looked. As much as I had the Rapha stuff, I didn't know about this Festive 500. So you can learn from anybody at any time. Always have an open mind. You know, I learn something new every day. You know, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's sitting here in the bike room. It's on my little, so every time, let me turn the camera. Every time I'm getting ready to go ride, like I'm getting ready to go ride now, that's what I see. It's sitting right over there. Okay? So that means that's my inspiration. That's my motivation. I get a slice of adrenaline, okay, to take with me on the ride. You know, you guys that saw the group ride, you heard me say, Jacques Anquetil, Le Grand Prix des Nations. Whatever I learn about the sport, I may not always say it loud verbally in the group, it's going through my mind. It inspires me to work that much harder as you're suffering. You know, cycling is a sport, you gotta learn to suffer. You know, there's a guy in the group, Steve Neasley, the guy whose bottle fell, for those of you that saw the ride, when I picked up the bottle. We had done a ride about a year ago. We're preparing for the MS-150. I did the MS-150 last year. I'm not gonna be doing it this year. But he scheduled a training ride to prepare for that was further north than we normally go, in the hills, further north of here. We do have hills out here, longer hills, more intense. And his invitation to the group, that text message said, we're gonna be going through some suffering. And some people didn't show up. And so when he replied to them, letting them know it was a great ride and everything, he said, you sure missed some suffering. Something like that, you know? But that's what it's about. You gotta be able to endure. Anyway, let's get back to why I'm really doing this video. I want to show you guys the bibs that I use. I have a lot of different brands. Over the years, I've acquired them in my order of preference and then why. Today, I'm wearing Etxeondo. I'm going to come over here so you can see the name. I'm hoping that I can get it to where it shows, to where you can read it. It's a Spanish company. I don't think it even, yeah, there you go. It's pronounced Etxeondo. And I'm going to have to go back and edit the reply that I gave to Al Duarte. Was it Al Duarte or I think I replied and I recommended some no, I don't think it was Al Duarte. The reply that I gave, I think it was Cal. I want to make sure I've got these facts together. So I've been talking with Cal and Al the last couple of days. Yeah, it was Cal. So the reply that I gave to Cal, I put the brand names in there and I did not spell the Etxeondo correctly. So I would edit it and update it. But in order of preference, I start with Rapha as the first one. Let me move them up here. I've got, this is a Santini here. Let me move these up here. This is the Rapha, what they call the thermal, this is the Pro Team. Rapha has a lot of different bibs. They've got the classic bibs now. They've got the core bibs. I don't own any of the core bibs. I've never tried them. When I'm gonna try something, I buy them on sale. If I'm gonna be trying it, I don't wanna invest top dollar. Even if I like it, I have enough bibs. So why buy them at retail? When they're 50% or even more, then I get them because I already have bibs. If I had none, then fine, that'll be a reason to buy at retail. And the reason I'm mentioning that is whenever possible, look for sales. They're out there. You don't even have to drive anymore. Just get on your computer, go to Google, put the name of what you're looking for. It'll tell you who has the best price. Then you flag those merchants and you wait. Or you get a free account there. They'll let you know when they have their sales. That's what I do with Rapha. They send me an email, they're having a sale. And with Rapha, you gotta move quickly. When that sale starts, within hours, the products are gone. Because even at retail, Rapha sells stuff. But they have seasonal sales. Like now spring is coming, they're gonna be unloading base layers and all that stuff. So those of you, right now it's 20 to 30% off base layers. Those of you who don't have base layers, you can get them. These base layers work well into early summer. So I wear them, I like to wear them. Anyway, this is the thermal short. This is the Pro Team. The Pro Team is what I personally prefer. I've tried the classic. I ended up sending them back. I did not like the fit. The legs were too small for me. The Pro Team fits like a glove for my body style. they've got these little, the things I like, even Paul mentioned it the other day, I was wearing a pair of shorts, he said, wow, they got these are reflectors and they're very effective. They're on the back of your leg and they reflect light well. They may look small, but man, and that's the thing people think. It doesn't need to be big. Think about it, when you're driving, remember those, what they call them, after dark, they light up. What they call them, oh man. We used to capture them and put them in jars. And you know, that we eventually, I mean, you put holes in the jars, but they basically light up for you. For some reason, I can't get the name that we call them. So anyway, that's how these work. Those little things that just, I mean, the drivers spot them from a long distance away. This is the Pro Team short thermal because it has a lining made out of some kind of fleece material. They call it Roubaix fleece. Very soft, but it's very warm. So on cool rides, cool morning, this is the one I wear. I have 2 or 3 of them. This has a pink on there. One of them has yellow. If you've noticed, I try to dumb down the pink. I took a black marker, put it on there, and the marker's wearing off. It was just a little too loud for me. Even though I like crazy stuff, that was loud. I'm gonna put this back in here, so go through them. We'll go through all the Rapha. This is the regular Rapha short. This is not thermal, this is just the Pro Team short, okay? Bib short. This color, it comes with the white letters on it. They got some with red. They got some with black and black with just the Rapha name. I had put markers on it and I was wearing out and I'll probably just redo it. It's a little too much advertising. I prefer my shorts to not jump out at people screaming who the manufacturer is. I like what they did on this side. If you see the Rapha is kind of dumbed down, it's in black. So I will reapply the permanent marker on this because this is like almost like the painted lines on the street. It's some kind of rubbery thing, so it doesn't hold it, but it stays for a while. So I always thumb it down with the marker, but it comes with white. The reason I got the black and white is the white comes in extra length in the legs. I like my shorts to cover most of my quads. I don't like these short shorts that they have out there depending on what style of a brand you get. You got to be careful. That's another thing to look for when you're getting them. Make sure the leg length, the inseam of this, get the length of it. If you already know, if you have a short that you like, measure that inseam of the short. And so when you're buying other shorts, find out how close they are to what you like. I'm a tall guy. I look better in shorts that cover most of my leg. I don't need them to my knee, but they need to be down here. I hate for these tan lines to be all over the place. You know, you already wore another pair of shorts that were down here and the other ones. I hate short shorts. They just don't look right on me, you know. But that's just me. So these Rapha intentionally makes regular length and long length, and they add 3 centimeters to the long length. This has an additional 3 centimeters. So it fits just like this Etxeondo made by the Spanish company. This company supplies Movistar. Anyway, these bibs I purchased on sale as usual. So I always look out for the sales because you wear these things all the time. I ride a lot. So I'm always watching them as I wash them to see, you know, what kind of wear it's undergoing or whatever. You know, with Rapha, you can send it back, they can fix it. But what I found is these things last a long time. But I try to buy shorts to replace things that look like they're already wearing out. And then I bring new shorts in and then kind of like you phase out the life of the existing one. I don't like to want to reach for a pair of shorts and it's got a hole in there or something like that I didn't know about. So when I'm doing the laundering, I check all of that. Okay, so I'll put this up. The Rapha Pro Team. Let's see. Now, this one is a Rapha Aero short. That's what they claim. It doesn't have, I mean, it's real thin and it gets on you. It's very comfortable. Is it really more aerodynamic than the other one? I can't prove that, but it was on sale. I got it. It had the Pro Team fit. And I tell you what, it feels good. Like you put it on and it just seems to disappear. I don't know what the impact of this design on the back is, but in the summer, when I wear this, I am so much cooler because there's nothing back here, just these straps crisscrossed. So when I read the reviews of the other cyclists who had bought them at regular price on Rapha, and they were just touting it. Mostly guys from the UK were saying, man, this thing just disappears. And it's like you forget you're wearing it. I mean, you already forget you're wearing the Pro Team, but this one was even more. So when I put it on, I saw what, it's like you wear a sleeve. That's what it just gets on there and just disappears. So I wear these with my Pro Team aero tops. You know, I'll do another video for the other Pro Team aero jerseys that I have. But when I wear real tight fitting jerseys, I slip this on because it just disappears. This is the Pro Team aero short. They have that there as well. So that's my preference, and I got the Rapha as a preference since 2012. Long before. The shorts I truly loved were made by Castelli. They make some nice stuff. The challenge I have with Castelli and also Rapha, because I know their products now, so I know what to look for. Their length of the legs is all over the place, okay? And then their sizing is different. With the Rapha shorts, the Bibshorts are sized by waist. So my waist is 35, 34, 3/4 to 35, something like that. Well, there's no size like that. They got 36, and I think they got 34. So I go with 36, and that works because my goal is not to have these straps too tight. You know, so you get them when you bend like this, you can see they're still stuck to my body. That's how you know the straps fit you. So if you go with the length, the waist size that they have on there, you're okay. So they have a 34, a 36, and so forth. So on Rapha, the 36 is XL. So I use XL for the Pro Team. And they're gonna vary if you go with another one, but just use the size chart because with Rapha, they're consistent throughout the lines. The cuts may be different, but the sizing is the same. That's the problem, so you get them. That's why I get them and try them on before I pull those tags off. Those of you who have seen my new unboxings that I did. Before I pull those tags off, I try them on because they vary, even within the same manufacturer. With Castelli, this is 2XL, but the dimensions equate to the XL of Rapha. Castelli, Santini, you got to size up. They're just cut smaller, okay? Because in Europe, they want to tell you when you're overweight. Not like in America where you're big and they want to make you seem like you're small. You know, so they'll let you know you're extra large. It's time to watch it. So this is a 2XL for a guy like me. So, you know, I'm 195 pounds. My chest is 42. My waist is 35. And I'm wearing 2XL in European sizes. So they're keeping it real. Instead of making you think you're a large when you're not. You know, like when you go to the store, what we call large in the drinks now, it's a huge, that used to be a big gulp. Now it's a large. I always just laugh. Now the medium is now called a small. They just mess around with your mind in the US. You know, so anyway, I believe that's what it is. I may be wrong, but that's what I see. Because I give them hell when I go to the store. They start showing me these cups talking about this is a large. And then I said, so why did you make the bottom? They're so big that they have to squeeze the bottom so it can fit in your cup holder. I said, when I was growing up, the large used to just fit in there. You didn't have to make a different bottom that was squeezed in so it would take, you know, when you put it in your car. A bunch of crazy stuff. Anyway, the challenges with Castelli is you got to watch the leg length, okay? This one is the Endurance, I think it's Enduro short or whatever. So depending on which line of Castelli, just like Rapha, whether you go with Pro Team, Classic or whatever, you can end up with a completely different fit. So you got to find what works, try it when it's on sale, and then remember the model and so forth so you can get the same stuff that works for you. Because not all of them fit. I've done the mistake of getting stuff like this one here. This is called the Russell Corsa. That's like the racing line. This fits really well, but for me, this bottom, the Garmin, I think Garmin Sharp Team wears this brand, this style. They got this little, almost like a netting. Let me bring it closer. Right there. It doesn't stay in place, okay? It's a good idea and everything. It makes it a little longer, but it just keeps moving when you're riding. You know, see this Etxeondo short, which I will get to their brand in a little bit. They use fabric down here, and that stays in place. It's cloth, you know. And they don't have any silicone or anything. It's just got elastic inside, and the elastane lycra rolled over it. So you have a band that stays in place, not this flimsy thing. So this is not my most favorite. It works. I love the pads, and that's another reason you stick with a brand. You get a pad that feels good for you, you stick with that. You know, so you know they're all pretty decent. I like the Castelli pads. They're not split in two like the Rapha pads, but they work. I think they call it, they had the name on here. I was trying to see if I could find it. Progetto X2 is what they call this, the pad. So they disappear. It's just very, very comfortable. So they're okay. Now, would I buy another one of these Garmin sharp styled stuff? No, because it's not one of my favorite. It's okay. And you always have favorites. You know, it's just okay. It's not, I don't like the leg length. I don't like how it draws up. You know, when you adjust it, it stays there for a while. And these bands are kind of a challenge to keep in place. They're a little flimsy. So these are little shortcomings of, you know, every short has that. So I keep all my brands together when I hang them. All the Castellis are together. So if I'm in the mood for Castelli, I just go to that section in where it's hanging. I don't mix them up when I'm hanging them. So it's easier to find. Put this over here. Okay. Now what I want to show you also is my third favorite. And it's tough to really say third. It's a tight battle between Castelli and Santini, as far as I'm concerned. This is one of the Santini shorts that I have. This is, I got it from Prendas Ciclismo. You know, they do a lot of retro jerseys and so forth. Nothing special, just a simple short. And what I did is they had the brand name Santini. If you see them here, they had it in white. You can see it's not white anymore. I took a marker to it. The marker wears out after a while, but I dumbed it down, and so I like that better. It was really bright white, and all you saw was the lettering on my legs. I didn't care for that, so I dumbed it down with my marker. But these fit like you're wearing nothing. I don't know how they accomplished it. All here, super comfortable, just disappears. And the pad seems to become one with your body. The pad here, I forgot the name of what they called it. It's not on here. But they've got little air holes in them. And I don't know what the significance of it is, but I wear these when it's hot and we're gonna be riding fast. They don't get wet. Those holes I showed you, you never feel your saddle wet. Down here is very humid. This is my hot and humid short. Okay, this short is very comfortable. You can wear it all year round, but it's so comfortable that I keep it for hot, fast rides because I don't want to wear it out. So, you know, I've had it for a while, at least a couple of years, but I don't wear it frequently because I want to save it so I don't have to replace it because they're always changing stuff. And then you got to look for the exact brand. Santini makes some nice kit. This thing fits. I love it. You know, so I like it so much that I keep it for just the rides where we're gonna be on the rivet. Because it is comfortable, whether I'm sitting on the nose of the saddle, whatever I'm doing, it's just, you don't think about your shorts. Same thing with Rapha, just disappears. And I probably should have shown you the pad in the Rapha short. I don't think I did that. To be fair to those of you who may be considering it, I wanna show you quickly the pad in the Rapha short. It's split. Rapha has all their pads in two sections. You got a pad on one side, you got a pad on this side. I may have shown it in another video, I don't know. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it works. There's nothing in the middle. So this thing just basically gets under here, and it's the same thing with Etxeondo, I think. I'm gonna look at their pad. But you put it on and you've got the pad just adhere to your undersides. Becomes one with your body. So the longer the ride, I wear Rapha. If I'm gonna be on the bike more than 3-4 hours, I wear Rapha. They're just comfortable. The pads are nice and thick. Now, the sleeper in all my kit, these guys, Ale. Okay, I was reading an article maybe 3 or 4 months ago. I think wrote that CC or somewhere online, don't really remember. And I just always like to go to see what's the best shorts this year. What's the best shorts 2016? You know, every year I do that. And these guys came in. Ale, Ale. Whatever company that makes them, I don't know if it's French or whatever, but it might be. These are so comfortable. So I don't even know where to slot them in. I mean, they're right there in the pack with Castelli, Santini. You know, they may not be as well known, but the first thing I did when it came in, I peeled the Ale off the thigh. I don't know if you can see the silhouette, if the camera will be able to pick it up. Right there, right there. It had big yellow or whatever these green neon. That's not my thing. I peeled that sucker off. These are good. I like subtle stuff. I don't like bling bling in your face. You know, it needs to be nice. I like classic. So that went by the road. I peeled it off. The good thing was it was easy. I just peeled off the stuff. But Ale, you can't go wrong with that. I don't know much about them. All I know is that they're comfortable. They have just a regular looking pad, but man, they're great. I use them a lot. All my favorites I use all the time because why be uncomfortable? And you have to know which ones you want to do for your super long ride and so forth. But these guys, you ride all day long. They're very comfortable. So they're new and I'm not 100% familiar with them, but I love them. I liked it so much, I got a second one, this one. And I got a different color. It came in the red, and so I mix and match it with, depending on which jersey. You've probably seen some of the videos wearing these. Somebody had asked about them. One guy asked, I think I told him, I replied his message, one of our legends. This is just in red. And what I did, I took the marker, because that Ale is in white. It was not a decal that you could peel off like the other one. It was in the fabric, so I took a black marker, permanent marker, and just went over it, or Sharpie, whatever you have. I dumbed down the white, and it was closer to the gray. I don't need a lot of loud stuff. That's one reason I like Rapha stuff, except for the Pro Team shorts, what it's doing. Now they're starting to do with black and black lettering or whatever. I don't need it on the side of my legs. Give me the reflectors on the back or whatever for safety, but I don't need all that wild looking advertising. So Ale, can't go wrong with that. And I just got them online for, I think, Merlin or somewhere, Wiggle, don't remember where. I get my stuff from whoever has the best price. I go on Google, put the name in there, boom. And so a lot of that, some of the products, I already have the link on my website, veloharmony.com, recommended cycling products. If you go there, you will see these links. I've already done the research for you. Click on the link, that's the best price. And I periodically check and update them because the prices change. This is made by Etxeondo. Let me start with the generic stuff they have. Etxeondo is a Spanish company that sponsors the Movistar team. Let me get one of their generic shorts right here. Okay. Etxeo is pronounced Etxeondo, like E-C-H. Etxeondo. This is the one I need to go update the spelling on the reply that I did for Cal. Etxeondo. Now, these were very, very surprising. They're not very expensive, but man, they're comfortable. The legs are long enough. I'm wearing an Etxeondo just in a different, let me move this thing. This is made by Etxeondo. Oh yeah, started out showing you guys. See how long the legs are? I love that. They disappear. Now, what got me to get them was I read about it and everything, in some review somebody did online, and then I went to Prenda Ciclismo, looking around, I was shopping around, and then they started to mention that Etxeondo been doing this stuff forever pretty much. Back in the day. I don't know, those of you who remember the team KAS, K-A-S, Etxeondo supplied the team KAS. And I was like, oh, I was intrigued. Here it is right here. So I got this one this is the first one I got, the first Etxeondo I got. I got it from Prendas Cyclismo with the KAS name on it. I was mainly getting it because I'm an old school fan. And every now and then I like to put on a short that has a name that cyclists are not that familiar with. And just go, and some people ask, what does that mean? What team is that? Some people just don't say anything, but I like that. It's kind of cool. So I got this and then I was like, wow, this is comfortable. Who makes it? So I went back to do the research to find out that this E meant Etxeondo, the E on the short. That's how I was, they were supplying KAS. Sean Kelly rode on the KAS team and so forth and so on. I was like, okay, let me go see. So I had to look. Wiggle sells it. Wiggle has them. And so I got this one called the Attack. It was on sale. And, liked it so much. Got another one. I got this one here with the white. I wear these mostly on days when it's overcast and so forth. You get the contrast. Your legs are moving. Drivers see that. That's what you want. So if your lights ever fail, your garment keeps you visible. And they got these cute little reflectors down here. All of these things make a difference. So the pad is very comfortable. It's not anything I'm super familiar with. They didn't name it. But it is comfortable. It's got a channel in the middle. That's the same effect as having split pads. That's what I'm beginning to learn about these shorts now. Because I study these things, I look at them. It's the same effect like the Rapha split pad where they got the flat seam in the middle. So you got to look at the styling of the pads. If something's comfortable, you figure out why. Then like if you're buying Castelli and you have one of them that you love, make sure you know the name. Like, the X2 that I talked about. Know the name of the pad because from short to short, Castelli uses different pads. And you may not like all of them, So you don't want to go through the headaches or having to send things back or whatever. And then when you get your shorts, before you go riding in them, try them on. See how they fit your body before you go riding, before you decide you're going to keep them. Try it on. So now we come to supposedly, the supposed master, it's a master in the most expensive, Assos. Because that was what Cal was saying about why the heck is Assos cost so much more expensive than even Rapha stuff, So for the most part, it's research and development that they're trying to recoup on. They use a lot of special fabrics, just like Rapha. They use a lot of special fabrics. These fabrics work. As far as wicking moisture, I remember back in the day, you wear a base layer, you'd be wet under there. So yeah, let them go do the research. Let us benefit from it. But you don't have to buy it at retail. The point I'm getting at is, I own one Assos short. This is the Uno. They got all kinds of names for them, just like all the other guys. Everybody's got a name. It's like a model kind of thing. This is the Uno. I find this one, the Uno fits me best. The legs are long enough because they got other one like the F-Milli, something F13 and all that stuff. I tried one. I had to send it back to Colorado Cyclists. The leg was short. And then I learned that, they make a long leg offering in that one. Well, Colorado Cyclists didn't have one. They just had that one on sale. I just presumed that all the shorts were decent length. So you got to do your homework. Well, like I replied to Cal, I said, who wants to spend $300 to try a short because it's Assos to see if they like it? So I spent $120 on this. It was on sale. And this is like the little kid. It's almost like maybe the Camry in the line of cars where you got Corolla, Camry, Maxima is Nissan, I'm sorry. But this is like a little above entry level. Pretty comfortable, but nothing memorable. I ride it when it comes up in the queue because I keep all the shorts together. And as they come up to the front, I grab that one to go ride. I don't seek this out to go ride. I don't go digging and say, I got to ride this. Like I go digging for the Santini and say, it's hot, I got to ride it. It's just a short. It fits really well and everything, but it's not any more special than all the other ones. And that's kind of what I told Cal. So the key is, to summarize, bottom line is, find a brand that works for you or a brand or two that works for you. Get your stuff on sale and stick with it. And there's nothing wrong with trying other brands, but try them when they're on sale so you're not spending too much money. Because there are a bunch of them out there that won't suit you. It's very personal. Just like saddles, very personal, okay? I like this one, the other one I didn't like. They were both made by Assos. I sent the other one back because I tried it on. I was like, the legs are too short. Are they comfortable? Yes. Are they more comfortable than Santini? No. Are they more comfortable than Rapha? No. Are they more comfortable than the Apparel, which is, regular price? No. Did they spend more money researching the garments? Yes. But that means, do I have to pay for it? No, let's spread the cost. I'll get them on sale. We can all chip in a little bit. I don't have to pay $300 for it. You got a bad fit, a $300 short is not going to make you comfortable. When your bike fits you well, I said that earlier before. I'm trying to drive this point through. When your bike fits you well, you can put on a pair of jeans on your trainer. It will feel good. The reason you won't ride in the jeans on the road, the seams, the chafing, it rubs on you. Doesn't matter. That's the thing. So the shorts don't make your bike comfortable. The fit does. The shorts should be where they have technical materials, and that's why these guys are doing the research, so that you don't sweat. It's not an oven, so that your butt is not wet. Because you sweat when you're out there exercising. These materials allow that sweat to evaporate. That's what we're paying for. Do we need to pay $300 for one short for that? They're gonna try. That's what it's called marketing. They want to see what people are willing to pay. If you're willing to pay more, why should they charge you less? That's just the way it is. Think about cars. How you think they price them? Those things are rigged. They put a price out there and see what people will pay. That's why you go there and you're haggling. They don't have a price that's set. Some like CarMax and other people are trying to do it differently. But no, it's just whatever you're willing to pay for the product. That's what these guys are pushing for. That's why it's called recommended retail price. Or manufacturer suggested retail. So it's a suggestion. I suggest you pay me $600 for this candy. And then you're gonna say, well, sorry, I want to pay you $20. How badly you want to sell that candy? Yeah. So that's what it's about, Cal and others. Find bib shorts that work for you. Make sure the size right for you. Buy the bib shorts for your size. If you're in between, size up. Get the one that fits you. Know about that brand. See, your body is the final decision maker. Once you find what you like, you narrow it down. You don't need to try everything out there, And you don't need to limit yourself to just what you do like. Every now and then you can try something else. You never know. There's always new stuff coming out. That's why you see that I got the Apparel. I like Rapha, but it's not the only thing I want to wear. Come on, I'm not gonna limit myself. There's always good stuff out there by other people. The Etxeondo is great. I like the fact it's not that common. It's been around forever. Most people don't know. And I've decided to try it and I loved it. And it was reasonably priced. So that's the key, So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. But basically, there is no reason to be paying too much what you can't afford. There's always shorts out there. Now, let's be reasonable. A $40 bib short is not gonna feel like this, or it's not gonna feel like Rapha. That's just the reality of the world. You gotta spend some money, okay? So you got to go with, the reason why I go with these brands is not because of the name, it's because of the quality. The cheap shorts don't feel the same. Now, there are people out there that prefer real thin chamois. There are people out there that don't match. Me, I can ride thin chamois, a thicker chamois, whatever. Some riders only like very thin chamois. Some manufacturers have thin and thick chamois. So you gotta find what works for you and just stick with that. So that I'm gonna stop. Post your comments, your questions, your additional information to help other riders below. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any new things on the channel. And I want to thank all of you that have been supporting the channel. It means a lot. And stay tuned for more content. But no matter what, get out there. Don't let anything stop you.